Passage in play. Everybody gets a token. Everybody gets a token. Shade in play. Everybody gets more tokens. So just basically Ozolith farming, which is fun. And they stack up quite nicely, and these can all go wherever, right? Let's go on the creature with Menace. And we can swing in quite aggressively, I feel like, here. Big woofs. And we also have the Hagra Constrictor as well. That gives our creatures with +1/+1 counters Menace, which is extra nice. And then, of course, the Raptor, so if there's any blockers, they have to sack. Hey, everybody. Welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game again. Today, we're playing with the Mardu Ozolith. Mardu refers to the color combination of red, black, and white. The Ozolith is a legendary artifact, allowing us to collect all of the +1/+1 counters from our creatures when they're removed from the battlefield. This is great because it allows us to still have some relative value remain on the board when we see exile effects like Glass Casket, Banishing Lights, Extinction Event, and even Ugin's minus ability. We combine the Ozolith with haste creatures, in this case Phoenix of Ash and Rankle, Master of Pranks. They can come in play, have those counters from the Ozolith be placed directly onto them, and hit our opponent for big damage that they're unable to contend with because they just spent all of their mana on the exile. So if you're not interested in learning how the deck operates beyond that, you can jump right into the gameplay footage. Please, to everybody watching, if you do find any value within the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content. If you want to support, you can do so by joining our YouTube membership program. We've got exclusive videos for those of you who are YouTube members, so check them out if you haven't yet. And again, let's break down the in-depth guide to Mardu Ozolith here, and talking about the Ozolith right out of the gate. This is a 1 CMC card, so very cheap, and it's great because it's colorless. It can fit into any deck. The colorless is also great because it survives Ugin's -X. So not only can it survive the -X, but it can take advantage of all of the other creatures that had +1/+1 counters on it who got minused through Ugin's ability. So, a legendary artifact, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters onto the Ozolith, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has a counter on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. Again, doing exactly the things that I aforementioned, protecting you from not only the destroy and the damage-based removal effects, even the combat trades, but most importantly, in my opinion, is protecting you from losing all of your value against some of the exile effects in the game. So that's our only one drop. Getting into our 2 drops here, we've got 4 copies of the Stormfist Crusader. This is a 2/2 with Menace, and at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. This is great because it's a body on the board for 2. It has Menace, so it will be able to attack. We have a little bit of synergy within Menace in the deck that we're going to break down in a second. And of course, it will not only deal 1 damage to each of us, but it will help us to continue the draw, which is great because we have a ton of low-cost creatures in the deck. So the more cards we can draw, the better, because there's a good chance that we'll be playing 2 cards, 3 cards a turn potentially. And this is advantageous if our opponent has a higher converted mana cost curved deck, where their cards are 4, 5 drops, and they're still stuck playing, you know, only 1 or 2 of them a turn. So we can really take advantage of the Stormfist Crusader's draw when we combine the deck with a low curve. 4 copies of the Labyrinth Raptor. Now, I talked about Menace kind of being synergistic within the deck. Now, this is why. Another 2/2, again with Menace, and whenever a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, if defending player has to sacrifice a creature blocking it. So if they want to get the kill on the creature, they have to triple block, which is a rarity, right? How often can someone afford to triple block, sacrifice 1, and then, you know, still use those other 2 creatures to get the kill in on the Raptor? Of course, you know, if they're blocking with 2 creatures that are of more power and strength than the Raptor, then that'll do it as well. But again, the Labyrinth Raptor allows us to have them sacrifice their creatures when we attack. The Menace is just good in general to get around their blockers. And of course, we can sink our mana for 2 to power up all of our Menace attackers, which is quite nice. The Skyclave Shade must include in any black deck, in my opinion, right now, a 3/1 kicker for 3, so a total of 5. It cannot block, and if it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. The +1/+1 counters have high synergy with the Ozolith, so that's one way to collect them. Another way to collect them is the Luminarch Aspirant for 2. Must include in any white deck right now, in my opinion. This is a 1/1, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Doesn't matter what creature it goes on, because you'll always have access to that +1/+1 counter through the Ozolith, which is quite nice. Moving into our 3 drops, 4 copies of the Skyclave Apparition, a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When the apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is that card's converted mana cost. 4 copies of the Hagra Constrictor. Now this is a very nice card. 0/0 entering the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it will also have menace. This has really nice synergy with the Labyrinth Raptor and the Luminarch Aspirant. So, we're putting +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures. The Constrictor will give them all menace, and the Labyrinth Raptor will now make our opponent need to be sacrificing their blockers, which is really, really cool. Not only that, but the 2 counters it comes in will have synergy with the Ozolith, because even if it's immediately removed, we still get those 2 counters. Now we have a couple haste creatures to take advantage of all those counters. The Phoenix of Ash, which is a 2/2 with flying and haste. We can up it by +2/+0 until end of turn for 3 mana, and we can escape it from our grave for 4 +3 cards being in exile from the grave. The escape costs will result in a +1/+1 counter being put on the Phoenix as well, so some synergies there with the Ozolith. Also, 2 copies of Rankle, Master of Pranks. This is a 3/3 with flying and haste, so again, one of those magnets to the Ozolith counters, because they can get in without being blocked. And when Rankle deals combat damage to a player, you can have each player discard a card, each player lose 1 life and draw a card, or each player sacrifice a creature, which is quite cool. And then speaking of farming +1/+1 counters, we got the Felidar Retreat with Landfall for 4, and whenever a land enters the battlefield, you can either create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. This is absolutely amazing. So we can have creatures that are having +1/+1 counters on them. They will also gain vigilance, and they should already have menace. And then if your opponent blocks them, they're going to have to sacrifice their creatures. So there's a lot going on within this deck, which is really cool. 1 plane, 6 swamps, 3 mountains, 3 Brightclimb, 3 Needleverge, 4 Triomes, and 4 Fabled Passages. No sideboard. We're playing best of 1 today. So, that's the deck list. The general strategy and synergy is, a little bit greedy. This is like a 15-card combo. not quite a 5-card combo. And not even that. It's like a 5-card synergy. So it kind of is just hoping to pile on and roll your opponent. There's no removal in here other than the Skyclave Apparition, which is nice. The Shade can act as a form of passive removal through Rankle Master's sack ability, because we can obviously sack our Shade and replay it for some value, which is quite nice. Again, it doesn't have lots of removal because we're trying to just trade with combat damage. Attack, 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 attack. If they want to defend and lose their creature as well, then we get the counters back, and then they can go on to a new creature next turn. And, I think the deck's pretty good. We might want to increase the Phoenix and increase the Rankle a little bit, right? Because it sucks when you've got, 8 counters on your Ozolith and no haste attacker to utilize them. But the strategies here, the synergies are here. In the play queue, I think we went 6-0, so doing very well in the play queue, undefeated. But in Mythic, we ran into a little bit of trouble in a few matches, and we've generally been having bad luck today. It's the end of the season; people are trying to do their best, right? So it's a serious meta out there, and this is a prototype deck. This is the first time we've been playing with Mardu Ozolith, right? Using the Hagra Constrictor, the Labyrinth Raptor, and the Felidar Retreat with the Ozolith, which is cool. It works. You could go with a green variant and use Conclave Mentor, but I really wanted to use the Labyrinth Raptor and the Constrictor, right? So, what's the easiest way to put +1/+1 counters on things? Well, it's going to be the Felidar Retreat, and that's where we got white from. So that's the general build progression that we made. And again, just having fun with new decks every day, new ideas, new strategies, new synergies, to maybe hopefully help you guys spark some interest, and maybe something in this deck helps something else click that relates to another deck, and maybe you can improve some of your own builds by viewing some of the new strategies and synergies that we're trying to showcase. So with that all being said, you guys, thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today, we're using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant, available for free in the Overwolf link just in the description below. You know, this will allow us to track our card draw, is what we use in the left of our screen throughout the gameplay. You can also get a ton of other, you know, behind the scenes information due to the metagame, your collection, like just so much more. So get into that, available again for free with my code in the description below. Thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. Not a good hand. Opponent goes first, run the draw. Kind of awkward mana spread, but we could get the Crusader out, and that could be good. Awkward. Let's go for it. This pathway is really quite nice here, so I'm gonna... Well, no. I kind of want to use it as the Pillarverge, just so we can hit the Apparition. We'll get the Crusader eventually. Cultivate, that's not that bad. Hopefully we pull planes off the top. If not, we'll get there. Right, we can always just play a Shade. I'm worried about exile, but at the same time, let's just take it. Probably taking another plains. If not, we'll take a mountain. We also need a second swamp for Rankle, so lots of different directions we could go. The Ozolith Crusader might be alright. But I'm not sure if there's much removal. Scoot Swarm equals plains, because we want to deal with that as soon as we can. So thankfully that's just an insect. That puts them at 5. They need to play their 6 somehow. I don't know how they'll do that off 2. Definitely taking our plains so we can take care of the Scoot Swarm. Can't let that be on the field. I bet they have another. This is going to be a red source for us. We have 2 Crusaders. Ozolith can sneak in right now. Let's just hit with the Aspirant, take out the 1/1 insect. Oh! That's not good. We need to pull a black source so we can Rankle sack it. 1 swamp off the top. Kind of. Awkward. So we need to stop any scoots What's the Sterix on? A Scavenging Ooze. Still pretty annoying. No attacks. We need to get that Swamp in play. Well, we have it in play. We just need to get out and go. And then we're gonna smash the Sterix with a sack effect. That's disgusting. So, that no longer works, and this game is gonna end very quickly. We need single target removal, which I don't even know if we have. Frickin' mutate. I mean, we can pull another apparition. Actually, no, we can't. Its mana cost is too high. They should not attack with that. Are you serious? I will definitely take that Sterix stack out. I am not worried about that. They must have more jazz. Okay. Sucks for us, but not the worst. They go straight into Exile Town, whatever. Let's go Rankle. Hey, that might not be too bad here soon. Well, land sucks. As long as they don't pull Reach, they don't pull Exile. They're in an awkward spot, but I'm sure.
Peace is fragile and fleeting. Cherish.
What a life. Alright, we just need a Phoenix, something with haste off the top, another Rankle. Let's pull another red source. They need another blocker, or it's a -2. We really just need haste. Ozolith is really great. Can protect you from Ugin, it protect you from Extinction Event, but it still hurts. Wow. That's their 4th Sterix. Come on, man. I love how they're playing Ugin with like a creature-based mutate. It's just awesome. Little landfall in there. Good game. Pulling up plains here, then playing our mountain, taking the innkeeper. Wow. They're going aggressive. Sucks, but that's our only option. Wow. This is too much. I'm still taking the Cobra because I feel like they didn't drop a land. Right, and if we can get them to brick, maybe we can take advantage. The trade is fine. Right, and now we get their draw engine, so we just dealt with all three of those threats. Very nice. Felidar Retreat in play next. They get the third land. Nah. Making a cat here. Hit for 2. So we're down to 13. We're a little bit behind, but I think we'll be okay. Let's just trade. Let's play that last, I think. Or should we kick? No. Maybe. They could have exile. No. If we replay them later, we'll kick them. So we're all in. Lieutenant's fine. Let's kick this. No attacks. Having the 3 shades is really nice. Oh, 2 lieutenants. That's really good too. We can't block. I don't know if they know that. Crusader in play first, then the land, +1 token on everything. And now the Ozolith is online for us very effectively. We have Vigilance, but we'll just hit with the 1 here. Counters go to the Ozolith, which is fine. So, no matter what we play at this point, it's going to be just fire. Oh, nice. These are all... Oh, these are just knights, though. Wow, what a top deck. They should have attacked with the 2 knights. We get to take Winota now. Saving our butts. And, yeah. Onto the Shade. And now it's just like a big old hit. They could double block, right? They might just block with the token. I think we have a... Oh no, they're here. I was gonna say, maybe they've left because we took Winota. Right, that kind of hurts. Bone Crusher Giant on the Apparition. They get a 4/4. Which isn't bad. And it is also non-human. Okay, that's fine. We get a token to our Ozolith. We can replay the Shade with land. Ooh, that's nice. So Retreat in play. Passage in play. Everybody gets a token. Everybody gets a token. Shade in play. Everybody gets more tokens. So just basically Ozolith farming, which is fun. And they stack up quite nicely, and these can all go wherever, right? Let's go on the creature with Menace. And we can swing in quite aggressively, I feel like, here. Big woofs. And we also have the Hagra Constrictor as well. That gives our creatures with +1/+1 counters Menace, which is extra nice. And then, of course, the Raptor. So if there's any blockers, they have to sack. The Ozolith, again, Very nice as it protects us from exile, losing all of our value. Alright, so there's a double block. Just so they stay alive. They get a knight, so that's fine. And because, again, of the Ozolith, we're totally protected. The Ozolith also has protection from Ugin, which is really nice, so... good times. Alright, let's see what they pull. Not much. Good game. A little bit of a bad streak here, but, you know, we're pulling it back. We go first, it could work. We can pull a red source. I will not mind that. Ozolith in play first. We did get the mountain, which is pretty cool. Is there going to be removal? Probably. But we have the Ozolith, though, so let's push that first. Trying to keep our synergies high. They play a blocker. No, they don't. Interesting. Constrictor out, just using our mana as effectively as we can. Removal on the Aspirant, which is fine. At least the token comes back, right? 3/3 with Menace. Could be worse. Do we want the Apparition online? Probably. Hit for 3. More removal, I suspect. Oh, so that's really good, actually. Because those tokens disappear now. So that's the only time we've seen the Oz, or the Ozolith, not be, you know, extreme value. Taking a planes here for sure. We need to make a move, though, right? They have plenty of cards, and we're down to basically nothing. Let's take our hit. If they kill it, we can replay it. Having those 3 counters removed from the Heartless Act is actually crippling. Alright, we lose our Shade. Maybe we should have played our Raptor there. Trying not to fold in immediately to everything. Let's take our Shade back. Here's an event. Here comes a Shatter. Something disgusting. Even, odd, and even, so... probably taking evens. Right? Getting rid of the Shade forever. Yes. Oh, an Apparition. They should still take our Shade. They decide not to, which is awkward. Let's just smash. We're gonna kick the Shade if we draw a land. They're thinking about things, I guess. I mean, I'm not in a comfortable situation. We're played out, top decking. Against a Yorion deck. Not good. They're really thinking about stuff, though. They worry way too much. Another casket, this time on the Raptor. All of this is irrelevant. Let's cycle the land. They can't block, so we get 2 damage in, down to 13. Omen up the sea for a draw, that's not good. I shouldn't complain because we've been dropping them too, but they could have a counterspell. Eliminate before the Ozolith comes in play. Get the Shade in play. Again, they've removed our counters twice, just dominating us. Nice. We can replay the Shade, hopefully. Now we can kick it. And every time we resack it and kick it, we can collect these counters. All attack, because they'll have to sack one, right? So they just take it. We need to avoid removal. All right. Good times, good times, good times. Should be an easy match to win for them. Tick tock, 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 tick tock. Oh! So, we'll have to sack our Ozolith here. Oh no, they're taking our Ozolith. We'll have to sack a creature. Which is the better play? Right, so we have to sack our creature when it's our turn. Good game. Sploosh. Alright, well we got beat up today. Why do you guys think that is? I need your big brains to solve this problem for me. Why is the deck no good? Is it because there's not enough removal? Probably. Are we using stuff that's not working together? Or is it maybe just misbalanced? I think that we should have more Phoenixes, more Rankles. I think we should lose the Apparition, maybe, just because the dual white seems really awkward when we have dual red and dual black as well. And then, you know, maybe if we lose the Apparition, we take in some form of just general removal, right? I think that could probably help it. You know, the Ozolith is... Maybe we take, you know, Fire Prophecy so we can be discarding dual copies of the Ozolith, right? Not that bad. That's probably generally good. So I think my first edits that I'd want to make is taking the Skyclave Apparition out, and then adding the Fire Prophecy. This way we still have removal, and we can still, you know, now get rid of extra copies of the Ozolith and draw another card. So that's probably my first edit. And then, you know, from that, we could probably drop a Constrictor and add another Rankle. Maybe even dropping a Retreat for another Phoenix. Something like this. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the deck regardless of our results. And we'll see you soon in the next video. Make sure to like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend about us so we can, you know, reach even more people. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.